Hi everyone, my name is Farzad Nader and I am one of the technical members of Vancouver CIM branch. I would like to welcome you to our October talk, which will be presented by Pat Dillon. Pat is president and CEO of Money Matters, and the topic of today's talk is supporting communities with mineral resources educations. We start with the safety share and we carry on with few starters before Pat carry on with the talk. My safety share today is basically fatigue management and make sure that you're fit for work. This also applies to us at home when we're doing work at home or even driving. Fatigue management is very important, requires everyone to eat well, sleep well, do exercise regularly, drink plenty of water, minimize alcohol, coughing, and energy drinks, other stuff, and also be aware of when you're tired. Take a break. If you're running equipment and driving, operating equipment, driving machines, make sure that, if you're fatigued, if you're tired, talk to supervisor. If you're driving, take a break, a 10-15 minutes power break can recharge you and make sure that, you're safe and work can be done properly. After the safety share, we will continue to introduce our next month events. I'm very excited. It's going to be the first in-person event. It will be in Vancouver Pinnacle Hotel. Very exciting to have a very good keynote speaker and lots of different prizes, and around 20 grand of prizes of educational grants for students. So I encourage all the students to join and take advantage of this great event. If you want to stay connected with CIM and CIM Vancouver branch, I recommend LinkedIn. Is the best platform, and you can find out about some other events and also some other industry news. At this point, I'd like to thank our gold level sponsor, Bedrock Services. Thanks for supporting Vancouver CIM branch. I also want to thank AMC Consultants. Thank you for being a gold level sponsor. Merit Consultant International is our silver sponsors. Thank you them for supporting CIM Vancouver and sponsoring us. I would like to also thank Pan American Silver to be a silver sponsor of CIM Vancouver branch. SLR is another silver sponsor. Thanks SLR for sponsoring CIM Vancouver. And Solvay is our bronze sponsor. We thank them as well. At this point, I would like to introduce Pat. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Pat. Pat was born in Toronto and attended University of Toronto, where she earned BSc of Geology in 1974. And I guess later on in 1976, she got a Bachelor of Education. Pat has 32 years of career with Teck Resources, which made her one of the best known industry leaders in 90s and 2000s. She contributed greatly to the success of PDAC and also CIM since 1993. She was president of CIM from 2000 to 2001 and president of PDAC from 2006 to 2008. Pat's most enduring legacy is considered to be a charitable organization which celebrated 27th anniversary this year, Mining Matters. Pat is the president and CEO of organization which has provided educational resources promoting mineral literacy to more than 800,000 students and teachers in Canada in French, in English, and some indigenous languages. Pat was named Superhero of Industry by the Canadian Science and Technology Museum and recognized as one of the 100 global inspirational women in mining in 2014. Pat was inducted into the Canadian Mining Hall of Fame in August 2021. Pat, it's a pleasure again to have you here. I pass the ground to you at this time.
Oh, thank you, Farzad. My colleague, Laura Clinton, who is the Executive Director of Mining Matters, is joining us today and will be handling my slide transition. And I'm very excited to have this opportunity to speak to the Vancouver branch. I had the great honor in the later years of my career to be based in the Teck Vancouver office. And so I saw a number of familiar names join today's Zoom call. So it's so heartwarming to have friends in the audience. So I'm speaking to you today from Simcoe County in Ontario, which is situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. In our work at Mining Matters, we have the great privilege to work in partnership with many Indigenous communities. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the enduring presence of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people on this land. I'm very honored to be the 2021-2022 Canadian Mining Hall of Fame CIM Distinguished Lecturer. I wish to thank the CIM Foundation for their generous support of the Distinguished Lecturer Series, which was established back in 1972. My passion for mineral resources education and our work at Mining Matters are directly aligned with one of the mission statements of CIM's recently released new strategic plan. And that mission is to improve awareness of the minerals industry in society. You all know this, but it bears repeating. Mining is an important and essential industry that contributes greatly to Canada's economic strength, prosperity, and powers regional development. The industry is highly committed to environmentally, economically, and socially sustainable practices. Mineral exploration, mining, and the related service sector offer a vast array of exciting career opportunities. It is a high-tech and sustainable industry that invests heavily in research and innovation. And almost every aspect of our modern lives relies on minerals or mineral products. They are vital elements used for building and construction, vehicle manufacture and fuel, computers and other electronics, communications, healthcare and dentistry, food production, and energy production and transmission. Not to mention a critical part of the future of clean energy. The world needs minerals, and has often been said, if it is not grown, it is mined. There is a real need for mineral resources education. Unfortunately, in formal curricula, it is overlooked, undervalued, and unbalanced. General public perception of the mining industry is antiquated, and despite our heavy reliance on mineral resources, few make the connection to where the products they use come from. We know that many students today are unaware of the exciting, challenging, and rewarding career opportunities in the minerals industry. Attracting the next generation to the industry is critical to fulfill the anticipated gap in skill shortages for the sector. And the Mining Industry Human Resources Council has done a lot of work around this anticipated gap in skills for our industry. Most teachers lack a background in earth science and need access to resources that provide balanced information about rocks, minerals, metals, and mining. Educational resources, engaging hands-on programs, and public outreach build mineral literacy and create important opportunities to dispel myths and misconceptions. These efforts lead to a better understanding of modern mining and the important role it plays in our lives. In Canada, There are many organizations that are strongly committed to providing accurate information and opportunities to educate teachers, students, and the public on the value of minerals and mining to our society, the industry's commitment to corporate social responsibility, and the vast array of related careers. And these are themes you're going to hear throughout my presentation today. Organizations include museums and science centers, colleges and universities, governments, industry associations, sector councils, employment and training centers, community-based economic development offices, and organizations focused on STEM education. I want to highlight just a few organizations that focus efforts on mineral resources education. The Mining Association of Canada has produced a series of posters and a social media campaign to promote the strength and sustainability of the Canadian mining industry. They also promote mining's many contributions to our daily lives. The CIM and CIM Foundation have a number of programs, including this Distinguished Lecturer Program and the Mineral Card Initiative. They previously hosted Mining for Society to engage the public, and more recently are collaborating with Science North to develop the Earth's Riches digital game. The Mining Industry Human Resources Council is a national organization that leads collaboration across the Canadian mining sector to understand how labor market trends, how important they are to our industry. Part of their strategic vision focuses on attracting employees from diverse groups and promoting increased awareness, interest, and improved perception of careers in mining. They recently published a national youth mining career awareness strategy and launched an informative website called miningneedsyou.ca. And MEAR, in recognition of its 25th anniversary this year, will be awarding a number of scholarships in the next couple of weeks to students who have submitted videos about why the mining industry is important to them and why they are choosing to pursue studies in the mining industry that will support the mining industry. The Canadian Museum of Nature, along with natural history museums in Canada, promotes awareness of natural heritage through exhibitions, public education programs, and scientific research. Many of the provincial and territorial mining associations lead education initiatives. Here I've highlighted programs from the Ontario and Saskatchewan mining associations, which include mine tours for teachers, classroom resources, and student contests. The Ontario Mining Association also recently launched a social media campaign and award-winning podcast, #ThisIsMining, aimed to educate and inspire audience to think about mining differently. And more examples of initiatives from across the country are shown on this slide. The Mining North Works Initiative is a partnership of the Northwest Territories and Nunavut Chamber of Mines, industry, and governments to increase career awareness. The Britannia Mine Museum promotes mining awareness through entertaining experiential education programs, historic collection preservation, and insightful public engagement. They provide school programs, teaching resources, field excursions, and exhibits. EdGeo funds teacher workshops and field trips. There are a number of organizations and programs to highlight in BC. Here are just a few. Below BC is a not-for-profit organization looking to create resources that bring geology and earth sciences alive for the public through the creation of an interactive map of British Columbia. The map contains 360-degree images of specimens, geologic layers, rock types, and dates, as well as virtual geo-tours, interactive posters, and guided field studies. The Pacific Museum of Earth is one of the main public outreach venues at the University of British Columbia. It provides hands-on engagement, taking visitors through 4.5 billion years of Earth's history, while also offering curriculum-relevant in-person and virtual tour programs for elementary and high school students. The Kamloops Exploration Group has developed a virtual lecture series that invites guest speakers into classrooms via a series of webinars. They also provide support for school trips, scholarships, grants, geo tours, and educational displays. Exploration groups in Smithers and Prince George are also active in outreach. Engineers and Geoscientists BC offer similar experience, and their STEM Leaders for the Future contest encourages students to find innovative solutions to big issues using STEM. The Department of Earth Sciences at Simon Fraser University offers hands-on workshops to elementary and high school students on a variety of geoscience topics. Minerals Ed is a charitable organization operating in British Columbia that is dedicated to encouraging and supporting earth science, mineral resources, and mining education in schools. Established in 1991 as a teacher-industry partnership program, their main roles are to support teachers in their development of classroom materials and to deliver workshops, field trips, and other mineral-relevant learning opportunities for teachers and students. Mining Matters is a charitable organization dedicated to educating young people to develop knowledge and awareness of earth sciences, the minerals industry, and their roles in society. We build mineral literacy through STEM education by creating hands-on experiences for youth. We also work to build awareness of employment opportunities in the mineral exploration, mining, and environmental sectors. This map illustrates where we have delivered programming across Canada over the past 5 years. Mining Matters was established based on the model developed by Minerals Ed, formerly known as the Mineral Resources Education Program of BC. In 1990, the Mining Association of BC was confronted by industry surveys that the public perception of the mineral industry was extremely negative, or there was no perception at all. At the same time, the province's teachers were telling MABC officials that most of the information on the province's mining sector was 20 to 30 years out of date. Industry officials had routinely produced slick public relations brochures and information packages that in most cases were not suitable for the school curriculum or age appropriate. The industry was also very concerned the information being taught was not balanced and that the enormous wealth creation and employment benefits of the mineral sector were being overlooked. These problems sparked a formal partnership in 1991 between the MABC, the Ministry of Education, and the BC Teachers Federation. The result was the formation of the Mineral Resources Education Program of British Columbia. The innovative partnership allowed the teachers to produce mining-related classroom resources aligned with curriculum requirements. Industry representatives, government officials, and environmental groups were all consulted. In addition, a vital component of the program was teacher workshops that provided in-depth instruction on how to use these resources in the classroom. In 1994, the chair of the PDAC Education Committee, Barry Simmons of Teck, established the goal to provide children with balanced information on mining to enable them to make informed decisions in the future regarding the minerals industry. He noted that the success of the MABC education under the initial leadership of Maureen Lipkavich and later Sheila Stencil was due to development of the resources by active classroom teachers with technical input from the industry. Mining Matters was conceived on this model: by teachers, for teachers. With my background in both education and geology, it was a good fit for me to join the initial committee in 1994. Also, Barry Simmons was my boss at that time, so who could say no? At that time, the Ontario curriculum contained no requirements to teach about rocks and minerals. It was shocking to think that kids could go through their entire education and have no knowledge about this essential industry that allows them to live the comfortable lives they do. Over the summer, 3 teachers were hired to design a bilingual unit for Ontario schools. Between 1994 and 1996, over 2,000 resource kits were assembled in the Toronto offices of Teck. Initially, distribution of the kits through teacher workshops focused on the urban areas of Toronto and Ottawa. In 1997, Mining Matters registered as an independent charitable organization that is driven by a dedicated volunteer board of directors and a passionate team. In recognition of the important roles of Indigenous people in the industry, we introduced programs for Indigenous youth in partnership with communities in 2002. Expansion across Canada was enabled with the implementation of a robust fund development strategy in 2005. In 2019, we proudly celebrated 25 years of mineral resources education. Up until this time, our programs were strongly rooted in person-to-person delivery. But in 2020, the pandemic challenged us to pivot and to look for new opportunities to continue to engage young people. We work vigorously to establish new models for remote program delivery. As was mentioned by Farzad, since inception, Mining Matters has diligently brought balanced and accurate information to classroom, camps, and communities all over Canada, reaching, as we estimate at this time, approximately 800,000 students, teachers, and members of the public to date. Our longstanding relationship with multiple schools and Indigenous communities speak to the positive impact that Mining Matters has had over the years. Mining Matters has 4 core program areas, each of which has been adapted from in-person delivery to remote delivery due to the pandemic. Through teacher training and school programs, students participate in engaging virtual workshops where they learn about, and you've heard this already many times, rocks, minerals, metals, and mining through activities and demonstration. Teachers receive resources developed by teachers for teachers that meet provincial curricula guidelines and are provided with the professional development training to successfully implement the classroom activities. And at this point, I would ask you to reflect back also on the map of Canada. So when we talk about being relevant in the curricula, we have developed resources that are relevant in all provinces and territories across Canada, which is a big task. The resource kits are full of rock and mineral samples, over 25 lesson plans, supplementary resources, and testing equipment. We also publish an annual newsletter for teachers called Groundwork to provide updated resources and supplementary activities year after year. We implement our resources with school boards and through conferences for teachers. Field trip subsidies for teacher partners wishing to explore earth science and mineral resources outside the classroom were also available prior to the pandemic. Traditionally, Indigenous communities' education and outreach programs were multi-day school or camp programs based in communities. With COVID-19, travel was not possible, and many of our Indigenous community partners lack the internet connectivity required to participate in synchronous online learning. For this reason, we developed customized kits with all the equipment, resources, and instructions for a series of learning activities, which are shipped to communities to ensure they are able to safely continue to engage with youth. The kits are called GEMS, which is an acronym for the activity themes of geology, engineering, mining, and sustainability. In terms of public outreach programs, we build knowledge and awareness of mineral resources through virtual camps, sharing do-it-yourself activities, and by participating in public events. For example, STEM Fair, gem and mineral shows, Mining Week celebrations. We also showcase our achievements at the annual PDAC convention. In the past, we collaborated with Minerals Ed to participate in Mining for Society when it was held in Vancouver. Mining Matters hosts the WARE Challenge, a national contest designed to inspire youth to discover resources that are used to make everyday objects. Partnership programs allow us to achieve a greater impact than we could have accomplished on our own, and to build on each organization's respective strengths. Mining Matters has partnered with many of the initiatives that were previously highlighted. We collaborate with groups and organizations to develop programs and deliver virtual workshops to their wider audience. We provide partners with tools, resources, and training to facilitate activities in their camps and virtual classrooms. I'll highlight a few examples. The Geoscience Aware Challenge is a successful partnership initiative involving Girl Guides of Canada, Manitoba branch, the Manitoba government, Women Who Rock, the Canadian Geoscience Education Network, and Mining Matters. Together, we developed a program where earth science literacy principles were explored through more than 30 hands-on learning activities. Guides earn their Geoscience Aware Challenge badge by completing a requisite number of activities. Each year during Science Literacy Week, we partner with public libraries in different regions across the country for program delivery. Last year, Mining Matters contributed a hands-on learning activity to the Horizon Project, an initiative led by Let's Talk Science. And we provided 75,000 vulnerable youth in grades 4 to 6, including over 8,000 Indigenous youth with exciting, free, hands-on STEM and literacy activities that required no internet access. We have a series of poster publications called Mining Makes It Happen that showcase the importance of, and here we go again, rocks, minerals, and metals in everyday life. We take pride in being able to offer these posters in 5 languages. Our activity book is widely popular and is packed with educational puzzles. The book is downloadable from our website. We introduced a Spanish version of the activity book in response to many requests for it by attendees at the annual PDAC convention. The translated publication is extremely well received by our Spanish-speaking stakeholders. We have undertaken a new project to translate and adapt our popular Deeper and Deeper Discovering Rocks and Minerals resource kit for teachers into Spanish. Aimed at elementary grade levels, the kit comes with 38 lesson plans on topics related to rocks, minerals, responsible mining, soil, and erosion. I'm particularly excited to talk about 5 new projects that were initiated or conceived during COVID. Through the development of lesson plans, a new Mining Makes It poster, Mining Makes It Happen poster, and workshops to be held in 2021-2022, students will explore why critical minerals matter. And we all know that this is very much top of mind in many people's minds, these critical minerals and what they mean to Canada. During our virtual escape experience, players complete a series of tasks in order to gain passwords, retrieve clues, interact with their surroundings, and gather information needed to collect PPE to exit a refuge station. New activities are being designed to introduce the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and to examine the connection between earth science, mineral resources, and sustainability. In partnership with Ontario Tech University, we developed a new workshop for grades 7 and 8 in which students explore how robotics are used in the minerals industry and develop code to program a robot to navigate a path. And finally, With a focus on developing more knowledge about careers in the minerals industry, we have acquired access to a series of virtual reality experiences that mimic real-life scenarios as a mine engineer, heavy equipment operator, or a process engineer. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our contributors in 2020-2021. We are so grateful for their confidence in our mandate. Funding for Mining Matters comes from diverse sources, including donors, governments and foundation grants, associations, communities, and corporations. PDAC has long been the largest funder of Mining Matters, especially of unallocated funds, which are essential for covering operating expenses. Contributors are acknowledged in our annual industry newsletter, which also provides an overview of our programs, our reach over the past year, highlights our partnership projects, and shares details about new initiatives. Our newsletter is produced in French and English and is available for download from our website. How does mineral resources education benefit Canada? It promotes understanding of our industry by providing balanced information about the benefits and impacts of our activities. Building mineral literacy allows young people to make informed decisions in the future. And bringing early awareness and improved perception to careers opens the door to future possibilities. This is critical to attract the next generation to the sector to meet our anticipated labor demands. Mineral resources education promotes understanding of the critical roles of rocks, minerals, metals, and mining in our daily lives, and reinforces the importance of responsible resource development and use. Supporting teachers in the delivery of the earth science curriculum through professional development and access to hands-on resources and programs helps to ensure information is developed with a balanced approach. Educational resources, engaging hands-on programs, and public outreach create STEM opportunities that ignite curiosity, generate awareness, and build mineral literacy, and provide opportunities to dispel myths and misconceptions. Ultimately, educating young people about the earth sciences, mineral resources, and the contributions that mining makes to our standard of living and potential career opportunities is critical for developing understanding and broad support for our industry. I am often asked how people can get involved and support mineral resources education. I have 3 suggestions to make. 1, consider becoming a career role model and volunteer your time in a classroom to share your passion for your work and the industry. Many organizations are here to support these efforts and can assist by providing recommendations for engaging activities. 2, promote awareness of the array of programs and organizations involved in mineral resources education. I encourage you to explore opportunities to collaborate with existing initiatives. Collaboration could include providing technical or professional development support and relationship building. 3, and you won't be surprised by this one at all. Programs depend on the support of many. Corporate and individual contributions are critical to the ongoing successes across the country. Please consider providing financial support to initiatives. I appreciate the opportunity to highlight the critical importance of mineral resources education and to raise awareness of the education and outreach efforts of Mining Matters and our valued partners. I'm sure you will agree there's a lot happening in Canada to try and promote understanding and awareness of our industry. Thank you for your time and interest today, and I'm happy to take any questions at this time. I see one question. Shall I just jump in and answer it?
Please go ahead.
So thank you for your kind kind of remark there. It says the Northern Gateway branch of the CIM has had great feedback on the Mining Matters program. We have sponsored in-person and virtual sessions. Once COVID is behind us, do you see continued use of virtual and in-person? And I think the answer to that question is a resounding yes. First of all, the virtual presentations in many cases have allowed us to reach more youth in communities where there is the internet connectivity, both within the school and in the community. But there is no substitute for the in-person delivery. Our team are all young, very bright, very enthusiastic, generally recent grads, geologists, mining engineers, environmental scientists, and they can bring the activities, because of their understanding of the knowledge, to life in such a personal and engaging way that I think that the impact of in-person can never be underestimated. I mean, many of us have stories of early contact with somebody and their enthusiasm over a subject area, and it makes us think about that as a possibility. So I can see that going forward, there would be a blended and a hybrid approach.
Thanks, Pat. It seems like there is no other questions. Thank you very much again, Pat. That was a great talk. And look forward to hear from you again pretty soon.
Well, I really hope. I mean, one of my main goals today was not just to talk about the work at Mining Matters, which we're very, very proud of, but to highlight, across the country, there are so many great initiatives out there, and there's so much enthusiasm within our industry to help people better understand us and the opportunities we I see there's another question. It says, like construction, mining has a reputation of being the third choice when it comes to a career. What can mining do to attract the youth to a career in mining? So that's a question that everybody's wrestling with right now. We do know that the mining registration of mining engineering programs has declined again. And in spite of workplace integrated learning experiences that have been financially supported for companies, and a number of other initiatives, it still seems to not resonating. Some suggestions have been that the mining industry itself has to change a bit. It doesn't present the best example of inclusion and diversity and equity. Some of the programs and approaches to certain things need to evolve to the new reality. We know a lot of our youth. I mean, back in the day, we went into the field and we were gone for, months at a time. And that's just not going to fly these days. It's got, they want to see responsible mining. We're thinking that work around the critical minerals and the green energy is going to provide an attraction for a lot more of today's youth. And the other observation that's been made is that sometimes going into high schools and talking about mining, it's sometimes too late. Students may have already opted out of STEM education, which would be the most natural path to some of the careers in the industry. So again, speaking younger, the other gap that has been identified is that career counselors don't necessarily have a lot of information about careers in the mining industry. And one of the new projects that's going to be undertaken in collaboration with NRCan and MIR is going to be producing career resources for career counselors at the high school system. So there's a lot of thought around this question, but I think the best ambassadors are certainly the young people who are enjoying success and the industry now, and getting them out and being the face of the industry is, I think, going to go a long way.
Okay, seems like that was the last question, Pat. Thank you very much again for your time. That was a great talk. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.